How's it going, everybody? Welcome to yet one more episode of So You Want to Lead a Party. Um, I'm Nate,
I'm Ragan, and
and thank you so much for subscribing uh, and liking us and checking us out on Patreon. All that helps other folks discover the program. So, Reagan, who are we creating today?
we are going to create a character on Simone Biles. So I'm going to share my screen in a second. This ought to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope, wait, nope, it's not up. Hold on a second. I always think that I'm so well organized, and then I pause for a second and realize I am a complete and total mess, and I love every gosh darn second of it.
Yeah,
So, like,
I mean, I
this
can see
weekend,
it. Hooray!
I know this weekend I had to do something with like 8 pounds of tomatoes. I'll say that again. I have 8 pounds of tomatoes in my refrigerator that have been sitting there for a week. And so I had to, so I had to figure out what to do with them. So I made a tomato bisque. I made
Yeah.
a marinara sauce. And tomorrow I'm making a tomato cake.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Yes.
interested.
Have you ever had tomato cake?
No, but it sounds fascinating.
It is the craziest, weirdest thing. But like, if you could get behind carrot cake and zucchini
I
bread
love
or
carrot
zucchini
cake.
cake, right, then tomato cake, it actually works really well. It's fascinating. So basically what you have to do is you take a crap ton of butter and sugar, whip it until submission, and then you go back and forth between adding flour and adding the tomato, and it tastes delicious.
Excellent. Enough butter and sugar in there, and it's gonna be your
You
prize
put
gold.
enough you put enough butter and sugar in anything, it's gonna work. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna work for sure. Not a problem. All right. So we are building a Simone Biles
Yes.
because, one, she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Two, she's fantastic. Three, the Olympics just ended. And four, I just got really, really sick and tired of people making comments about her putting her own personal needs ahead of other people's needs. And it is insane how people still demand that you put other people's needs ahead of your own. I mean, you get it, Nate. We both work in sort of a service-ish industry. We both we both work for museums. And so when you're dealing with people and their incessant needs of, well, I have to do this, it's like, well, no, you can't do it because it's not safe for you, for anyone else. And so yelling and screaming at me is not going to solve your problem. In fact, it's going to exacerbate your problem because I'll be calling security.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole idea of you ahead of me, myself, and you must be out of your mind. First of all, that's not even how nature works. Nature is always putting yourself and your own personal safety and that of your family ahead of everything else. It's about, continuing on. And I just found it just utterly ridiculous. And also, the people that kept screaming all had something in common. Yeah, all had something in common. So I'll leave that to the imaginations. I don't think I have to utter that out, but they all had something in common. And it just ticked me off so much. The woman is fantastic. She made it to the Olympics, which in and of itself is amazing, and won bronze. So, read between the lines. There you go. Read between these lines. There you
There
are.
it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, unless you can get off the couch without your knees creaking, shut up. You just shut up.
Yeah.
So anyway,
they're all going to go back to not giving a hoot about gymnastics. They probably already have,
right.
because a lot of them were probably just trying to own the libs. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like,
there are so many other things to worry about. Like, I have a question. Is the ocean still on fire? So the ocean is still literally on fire.
yeah.
And we're arguing about how to properly wear a mask a year and a half in, and whether or not someone gets to take care of their own mental and physical health. But the ocean is still on fire, so let's ignore that.
These folks also won't get vaccinated for the team.
Thank you so much. Also, is Australia still on fire?
Probably.
I know there are a lot of places on fire right now. Like, there's an entire town that is just destroyed because of a fire.
I saw there was a fire in the interior of the big island of Hawaii.
Yep.
And it looked, for all intents and purposes, like the volcano on that island was going to erupt, but it wasn't, because what we're seeing on that is, in fact, the heat signature of a massive and super intense conflagration. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Let's yell about a black woman failing to entertain me, a white man, for. Sorry, I said it out loud. You said you didn't have to say it, but I said it out loud.
Well, that's okay. You on our show, we are open to everybody and everyone's thoughts and opinions, as long as they agree on one thing. Individual needs come first.
Yeah.
They have to in your life. Someone tweeted something, because I do a lot of Twitter, and someone tweeted something where they were like, it's insane that by the time I get home, I have maybe 2 or 3 hours to myself. I have to go straight to bed to wake up in the morning to go back to work. And then my weekends are spent all in doing the stuff I couldn't do during the week because I had to prepare for work. And another person came in and was like, well, what you're going through is not as bad as what someone else is going through. First of all, that's not the point of what they were trying to make. And second of all, that should not make anybody feel better or worse or anything. That's horrible. That people working 40 hours a week don't feel they have enough time to do what they need to do just for themselves, let alone a family. Now you're talking about people who are working 100 hours a week, 60 hours a week. They definitely don't have time. And I used to be one of those people working 7 days a week. So it's like, that's not how this is supposed to work. This is a bad thing.
In suffering.
No.
Like suffering bad.
Right. That's not possible. That's the dumbest thing ever. Yet we have bought into this. We have bought into this and just go, okay. And it's like, no, we're not supposed to be doing this.
Internalized capitalism, perhaps.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a solution for everything, but I do know that this is wrong and this is not right. and you still do all of this and you can't even afford the basics. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was fun.
Mm,
Do you want to build a Simone Biles?
sure.
All right. So 4'8", 24 years old, can do things that boggle the mind to the point where Olympic judges are like, we don't know how to score you in a way that does not make everybody else feel bad. She is the A++ student of gymnastics.
Mhm.
She is the GOAT for sure. So I'm trying to think here with her race.
Could I make a suggestion?
Oh, go for it.
It's class related, and I
Okay.
want to see what you think about this.
All right.
There is a subclass that I have read about and have not played yet, but maybe folks have played it. It's called the Oath of Glory Paladin. Paladins who take the oath of glory believe they and their companions are destined to achieve glory through deeds of heroism. They train diligently and encourage their companions so they're all ready when destiny calls. The tenets are actions over words, strive to be known by glorious deeds, not words. Challenges are but tests. Face hardships with courage and encourage your allies to face them with you. Hone the body. Like raw stone, your body must be worked so its potential can be realized. And discipline the soul. You must marshal the discipline to overcome failings within yourself that threaten to dim the glory of you and your friends. I would argue that that last one in particular includes mental health challenges that you are having. You marshal the self possession and self awareness to know when you are not at your fullest, and it is what you were. If you attempt something dangerous, you're no good to anyone, including yourself. I don't know. What do you think?
I do like that class. I'm going to take a moment because my allergies are kicking in. So excuse me for
okay.
1 second.
Yeah, for those interested, sorry, this is show related. This is me not vamping when I should be vamping. For those interested in the Oath of Glory, it is featured in two source books. It looks like Mythic Odysseys of Theros and Pasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Okay.
So that's for if folks want to check that out. There's also the much less complicated the champion fighter, because she is and she will die an Olympic champion.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like,
yes, she will always be a champion. I don't care. Like her, the US women's soccer team, they will always and forever be champions. I don't care what type of medal you do or don't come back home with. Oh, there it is. Oath of Glory.
Does that vibe with,
Yeah.
does that make sense? Okay. I don't want to be prescriptive, but it seemed to make a lot of sense to me.
That does make a lot of sense because I was going to go straight rogue because I couldn't think of anything else.
Because dexterity? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I was just like, oh, she would be the greatest rogue to ever rogue in roguedom. Like, we'd be standing there with the party. We're just like, yeah, so how are we going to do this? And all of a sudden, Simone just goes, and then comes back and is like, all right, we can go in now. And you're like, wait, what just happened?
She does a backflip and picks the lock. Like,
I don't know if you saw Suicide Squad, but there's a scene where Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, has to use her feet to get her out of this situation. And apparently Margot Robbie really actually did that whole scene herself. So I was like, oh, okay. No offense to Margot Robbie. Love Margot Robbie. I think she's an amazing actress. But if she could do that, imagine what Simone Biles could do. The roguiest rogue of all roguedom. All right, so with that, as a paladin, okay, so we're looking at paladins. From what I understand, there does have to be the strength factor there for sure. And because they're usually pretty well armored, but they don't have to be.
no, you can. There's no real reason that a paladin needs to be built around strength. They can maybe be built around dexterity, but what is like, and you can use dexterity is a bit more flexible. Obviously, it's flexible dexterity, but I don't know. Another important one is charisma, because the paladins are half casters, so they cast spells based on their charisma. So
okay. So what if we? Well, okay. So she is a very strong person.
Yes.
She is a very dexterous. Wow. It is Sunday night and it's showing. Dexterous person, and she does have the charisma to go with her. So trying to think here.
There is one race that is probably overplayed, but it does grant 3 bonuses. It grants a +2 to charisma and +1 to 2 other ability scores, and it is the Half-Elf.
Okay. Wow, there's an aquatic half-elf?
Yeah.
What? I don't remember there being an aquatic half-elf. Is that new?
You might have also, it could be new, I'm not sure, but they are.
Wow.
Dark vision, Fey ancestry, skill versatility.
Yeah.
So, I forget what you get with the aquatic half elf, but if you're in an aquatic campaign, like if you're sailing the high seas, right? That could be a good one.
Well, okay, so I think she was born in Ohio. She grew up in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she has citizenship in Belize through her adoptive mother.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that does not make her aquatic, because 2 of those places are landish locked. One does have Texas does have a coast. Belize does have a coast also. But if I'm not mistaken, she was born in Ohio, wasn't she? I think she was.
We didn't do full transparency, y'all. We didn't do our typical amount of deep and penetrating research. So, one second.
Let me see. Basically, what I'm saying is that it would not make sense to make her an aquatic half-elf.
Sure. I'm scrolling past her. Yeah, she was born in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling past all of her medals.
So okay, so if I make her a drow magic, she's got the dancing lights cantrip, fairy fire, and a couple of other things.
It might make her vulnerable to sunlight because half-elf drow are, although maybe not drow. They're like dark elves.
Instances. Yeah. And I'm not making her a dark elf because she is a person of color. I'm looking at a couple of other things because we do quite often go with the high half elf because they're supposed to be the most regal. Would go with it because she's got the training and fleet of foot and Mask of the Wild.
Which will let you. There should just be an option for like a regular old.
Yeah, there is.
Regular old like half elf, like standard half elf.
There is, but I did that with Obama. I was like,
okay,
let's have some fun with this.
You want to branch out? Okay.
Yeah, I did. With the very first, I did that for Obama. I was like, I'm gonna make him a half elf, not because he is half black and half white, but because of some of the modifiers that came with that. But yeah, we can make her a straight half elf. But like Wood has the fleet of foot, and that would go well with her.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yep. All right. So she is a wood elf. Let's do the ability score. So we're doing dexterity and strength.
Dexterity and charisma, I would suggest.
She already has charisma score increased by 2.
Maybe con then.
Constitution. All right.
Yeah.
Dexterity and constitution. Got to be able to handle those fights. Languages, she gets an extra 1.
Cool.
What are you thinking?
I can see all these options now.
I know, right? Now. So, disclosure, why we're no longer doing it on Twitch is that even though it was great working on Twitch and Restream, Nate couldn't see everything. It required so much power and energy that my poor little setup does not have. So it's like, let's go back to the old ways.
Yep. Sometimes the old ways are the best.
Not
sometimes.
dentistry. Not dentistry. No.
Or just, winging it and hoping you don't get sick. Wear a mask, get vaccinated, everyone, please get vaccinated, wear a mask, please. Thank you.
Don't make us pull out our Dr. Fauci build.
We'd do it. Inferno, Sylvan. Sylvan is like Fey language, I think. So
okay.
That could be cool.
All right. And there is a variant.
Yeah.
Okay. So fleet of foot.
Fleet of foot. What does that actually get us?
Let's see. Your base walking speed increases to 35 feet. Elf weapon training. You have proficiency with long sword, short bow, and long bow. Mask of the Wild. You can attempt to hide even when you are only lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, falling snow, mist, or other natural phenomena.
For her, I kind of like the fleet of foot. It's like extra movement.
Yep.
And then I think one of the paladin class or the subclass features for Oath of Glory like lets you add even more movement, which is pretty great.
All right.
If you can get to the fight before everybody else, you might be able to shut it down.
Okay, so we've got her as a paladin. She joined the US team. I want to say, okay, if I remember this correctly, in 2010 is when she started homeschooling so that she could focus more on her training. And she was with the US team, I want to say starting 2012. She left for a little bit, but then came back. So I am thinking level 10 for her.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So her proficiencies, her paladin skills, athletics, for sure.
Cool.
Okay, and if we're talking about charisma, then we're either looking at intimidation or persuasion.
She is well, yeah, so let's maybe think about it thematically, right? Like,
okay.
She's not much of she does not do a lot to intimidate other athletes, right? So probably not that.
Well, not where she's coming out there like what you got kind of thing.
Behavior wise, right? Her artistry and her
that's intimidating.
Her consistency and like that's intimidating, but she's not. She's just doing what she's doing, right? Like, so how about as member of this? I would say maybe as a member of a team. I think persuasion is probably the best to like get everybody to do their best, you know?
Yeah. All right, fighting style. Ooh.
Yeah.
What is blind fighting?
You can fight in darkness.
Ooh.
I think. Blind sight with a range of 10 feet. You can effectively see anything that is behind total cover.
You can see an invisible creature within that range.
Unless that creature successfully hides from you. So they might be able to pass, like, do a really high stealth check. But there's a chance.
Well, you remember our game where I rolled 3 nat 1s in a row.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say that again. I rolled in a row 3 nat 1s, one behind the other. That is like a 1 in 8,000 shot that happens.
Was that the fight, the Christina and Kay? No, when Christina and Kay did it?
No, Christina is already dead. This was just last week with Antonia Sebastian. And we were fighting vampires, and Antonia could not roll to save her butt. She didn't bite it, but she's pretty gosh darn close to biting it.
All right.
And then the 3 nat 1s were after 2 nat 20s. Two nat 20s. So 2 nat 20s and then nat 1. Oh, that hurt so much. So anyway.
Yeah.
Fighting style.
Yeah.
Let's look at the other ones.
Yeah, like defense gets you like a +1 to AC. Dueling lets you add like a damage bonus. Protection like helps your teammates somehow.
Okay.
Blessed Warrior, you get a cantrip or two. I think you get 2 cantrips from like the cleric spell list.
Well, again,
So,
if we're going with her as a person and using that to build this character based on her, the whole horrible incident where the US gymnastics team hid the fact that their doctor was sexually assaulting these women for quite some time, and how
including
this
Simone.
team had to really come together to stop this monster, and also take on a monster itself, in that in that the people that were supposed to protect these young women did not.
Completely failed.
You just completely failed them. So, yeah.
Protection?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Cool.
All right. It just ticks me off. All right. Ability score improvements. We only get 2 in this one.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, so charisma already gets a +2. So if we give charisma like a 15, that will already be at a 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're looking at strength and dexterity. One of those can get like a 14.
Con and dexterity.
Oh, con and dexterity. Thank you. One of those would get a 14, and the other one will get like a 12 or something like that, if we go with the standard array.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sounds right.
Right. So which one do you want to max out her charisma starting off, or do we want to start maxing out dexterity or con?
Well, paladins have this neat thing too, where they have this aura that they can project, starting I think at 7th level, and it's based on their charisma. So they get an aura of protection, or they exude an aura of protection so that any save or check that any save that anyone makes that is within that aura, like allies within 10 feet of them, gets a bonus equal to the paladin's charisma modifier. So potentially a plus, which is a great like passive team help, because and that's based on charisma. So I'd probably balance one of them for dex and one of them for charisma, and keep 14 at like one of them do 2 dexterities, and then the other do 2 charismas, and then keep con at 14.
Okay. So if we did that, okay, so so instead of just talking about this, let's go to it.
Yeah.
If we go to the standard, okay, do you want to do the standard array or the point buy?
Let's go with point buy, because then we can assign that. Yeah.
All right, so going with the point buy, we could put charisma at a 15, dex and con at 14s each.
Yeah.
And then we've got 4 points left.
I would probably put strength and like 2 in strength and 2 in wisdom.
Okay.
Just so that those are not negative. because she is strong, right?
All right.
And yeah, and that
So
was a
then,
very wise move. It was a very wise move of her to back out of that competition when she did,
right.
because she didn't wind up in a friggin' wheelchair.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because she's only 24. Oh my gosh. She has so much of her life to continue to live. Why should she damage her body so that she can't live the rest of her life without pain and misery?
Yeah,
Again, that just boggles the mind that so
crazy.
many of us bought into this idea of do this until you can't do it anymore.
And for no real impact on humans, for no real impact on the folks making the criticism, one way or the other, right? Like, it's not going to, they're just so offended by, I would guess, and this seems insidious to me, there seems like quite a bit of expecting a black woman to perform over and above for their entertainment, right? Like, which is crazy, and it's nonsense, and it's so wrong.
It's basic, and it's not just black women. Like, again, going back to where people were screaming about how the U.S. women's team lost to Canada, and it's like, okay, if you're ticked off with the U.S. women's team for speaking up about violence against people of color and all this other stuff, you do know that Canada is a country that also talks about socialism and, you know, people being cared for and things like that. Not to say that they don't have their problems. Oh, they most definitely do, especially when it comes to both countries, the US and Canada, finding out just how bad those schools were where Indigenous children were indoctrinated. They've only like really searched just a handful of those 40 plus schools, and how many bodies have they found of dead children? So I'm not saying that Canada is a better country. It's just that if you're saying that the women's soccer team lost to Canada because they opened their mouths about problems in the world, yeah, that's also Canada too, in some ways. I'm not saying always, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the progressive movement is trying to become a little bit more like Canada. So it's obviously not about that. And at the same time, they won the bronze. They did not lose the gold. They did not lose the silver. They won bronze.
They earned it.
Yes. And again, that game came down to one goal. One single solitary goal. Do you
that was a hell, forgive me, that was a hell of a game. It was a hell of a game.
Yes.
Like, it was astonishing. All of the athleticism on display. LSG. Have you seen that documentary LSG? That's been going around about the women?
I have not. No.
It's really, really good.
I bet it is. I bet it's really is. Good. Yeah. Right now, I know, I'm just trying to get through like the last week of a very long 6-week period.
Fair enough.
And my brain is just like, I just want to keep watching the same thing over and over again because that's comforting in its own way.
That's restful. That's you have earned a rest.
Thank you. I
Of course.
appreciate that. I got a long rest. All right, third level, we get 9 spells.
How about Crusader's Mantle, which is cool. I like that
Okay.
one.
You gonna press that?
Hello?
No, you don't like that for some reason. What's happening? Oh my.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the share for a second. That was weird. Hold on, everybody.
Hold on to your butt.
All right, so that's gonna have to do a reshuffle. And while that's doing a reshuffle, anyway, how are you, Nate?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
We are getting down to stuff at work. We're like bringing the eyeball lab back.
I saw that. Oh my gosh. All right. So for people who are like, what are you all talking about? What's an eyeball lab? That's where you get to dissect an eyeball. A cow's eyeball.
Goopy, goopy, goop.
Really cool.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. Okay. It let me do it. Okay. We just had to redo some things. It's so super cool. Yeah. I have never had the chance to do it, but I've gone into that lab and I've seen pictures from it, and it's really amazing and really cool.
It's awesome.
Yes. The problem is that the scalpels are so sharp.
Yeah.
And like brand spanking new out of the box sharp, that they have to continually remind people, don't let your children pick this up. You, the adult, hold on to it. And I have to say, I'm shocked somebody hasn't lost a finger yet.
Well, we're careful and we make sure people listen. So you're welcome, everybody who still has their fingers.
I'm still shocked.
I might suggest yet again that we take Revivify. Because people die in this game. Gosh. So having that prepared, just in case.
So in our party, our DM, I swear he's trying to kill us. we fought these fire monsters, and my character hid behind this 7-foot tall warforged. How tall is? Yeah, I
hid. He's about 7 feet.
Yeah,
Chances about 7 feet. He's a
big
boy.
I hid behind your character, just shooting my way around. And you were unconscious. Our cleric was unconscious. And who else was unconscious?
My other character. I'm running 2 characters in this campaign.
The air genasi. So it's like, I don't know what we're going to do because I don't have any spells. I can't drag 7 foot tall because I'm a halfling. So we're just sitting there like, don't die. But also we got to get out of here.
Good thing, I mean, fire elementals are just monster. Like they can deal an obscene amount of damage. They are a giant mountain of flaming fantasy dog poop that DMs can drop onto their party. Yeah.
Aren't we getting ready to fight an army of them?
Perhaps Earth Storm, possibly water. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
We don't know what's coming at us, but as we were discussing how we're preparing for this, we did have a discussion about if you can drop mayonnaise on a fire elemental, which led to us conducting an experiment of,
Oh yeah.
can you burn mayonnaise? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can.
Yay, science.
Yes. Yeah.
Get
Fire.
vaccinated, wear a mask. Yay, science.
What do you would do for the next? Do you want to go to level 2?
Let's go to level 2.
All right, let's look at level 2.
Oh, enhanceability is already in there, so that's
Yeah.
cool. Actually, could we go back to level 3?
Yeah.
Aura of Vitality. I like that one.
Okay.
Because it makes sense that this paladin should have like some team-oriented spells.
Right.
So.
Okay. I'm always a fan of Find Steed.
Oh, sure.
Always a fan of that.
Magic
You
Horse
never
Feet.
know. Zone of Truth.
It's cool for RP, but like,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, if you want to think about it thematically, too, like.
We've got 5 more, so we've got some
cool.
good ones here.
Bless. I love Bless.
Okay.
Bless is great.
Cure Wounds.
Cure Wounds is paladins are weird because they get this pool of healing that they can spend as an action. They like lay on hands and they can. They've got some healing already, so Cure Wounds could be helpful, but we don't need it.
All right. Well, we've got quite a few more. We got 4 more.
Okay. Let's do some attack ones. She brings the fire.
Yep.
So let's do Searing Smite.
Okay.
The Paladin Smites are fun. I like them. Magic sword attacks. That's just awesome. She also brings the thunder.
Yeah. Oh, what was the name of that movie where the character would move his feet? He'd go, here's the thunder, here's the lightning, here's the thunder, here's the lightning, and then he would try
Kung Fu Panda?
No, it had Dwayne Johnson, and he wanted to be a chef, but he was like a bodyguard, and he had to go find this man's rich son or something like that. I can't remember right now.
There's a rock movie that I haven't seen.
You probably have seen it, but it was just as he was moving from the WWE into his acting career.
The People's Champ.
Yes. All right, let's see what else we can do with some damage. You want blinding?
I picked a bunch of them. Sure, yeah, blinding smite.
All right, let's just have her a smiter. She's a smiting smiter. Oh, we got one more.
Haste. Haste lets you go fast.
She already has that.
Oh, she has it? Okay,
yeah.
Great. Cool.
Yeah, it's always prepared.
Sweet. How about helping the team out some more and do an aid?
Okay. We can do that. All right.
I'm betting there's gonna be a cleric in the party, which may not always be the case, but
well, we still have to continue with our battles between our characters to find the one. You know, we're gonna go Matrix on this. All right. What is her background?
Yeah, what is her background?
She is not an entertainer.
No.
I could see her as a gladiator.
Gladiator. Proficiency, I think, in athletics and uh, performance. Let's try it. Let's see what we come up with.
Acrobatics and performance. She gets a disguise kit, and she gets an instrument.
Haha.
You know I hate these things.
Ba-ba-ba. Horn, 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 horn. Horn.
Right.
Horn,
She gets
horn,
a
horn,
horn. All right, suggested characteristics. Whenever I come to a new place, I collect local rumors and spread them now. Hopeless romantic. Well, she seems to have found her partner.
Yeah.
No one stays angry at me or around me for long since I can diffuse any amount of tension. I settle for nothing less than perfection.
Except when she doesn't, and that is her right.
Well, see, that's the thing. She wasn't settling for less than perfection. She was taking herself because she was protecting herself. I mean, how many times has she injured herself? She had a broken foot and the bone spurs, actual bone spurs. So she's had all these injuries and stuff. And then her, oh my gosh, I didn't even remember this part. Her medical records had been released without her permission because of her ADHD diagnosis, which people try to make her feel shame for that too. It's like, y'all gotta settle down.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering about number 4 because, like,
number 4 is sticking out to me too.
Look, just how Jordan Childs was looking at her and crying as she was performing that bronze medal winning, like, she must inspire. She clearly inspires so much faith and love in her teammates, and that's so great to see.
Well, you see number 1 for ideals.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I 100% agree.
Yep.
I idolize a hero. I would do anything for the other members of my old troop. I idolize a hero of the old tales. Like Olympic gymnasts of yore, perhaps.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I can see number 4 and I can see number 6.
Yeah.
She did struggle to testify against that doctor, but she was there. She stood up.
Yeah.
It's hard to face the person that abused you. Huh. So 4 or 6?
I'm feeling 6, but I could go either way.
I'll go with 6.
Okay.
All right, flaws. We could kind of make it number 3. Here's how. She was born in Ohio. Now, it wasn't a scandal. Her mother could not care for the children. But I do know that in parts of our society, we do consider that a scandal. And she lives in Texas because of that quote unquote scandal, which actually is not a scandal. I think that it is the strongest and bravest thing for a parent to be able to say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
and seek help, which is what she did.
Okay.
Because 1 and 2 don't work.
Right.
4 does it. I mean, 4, we could make something up for 4. She does not appear to have a sharp tongue, because when people were saying what they said about her, she did not respond with hate.
Mhm.
And she's not unreliable.
Number 3.
Yeah. It can go into her story.
Cool.
All right. Equipment for our gladiator.
She's a paladin, so she's proficient in a lot of weapons. She can do medium armor.
All right. Actually, she can do heavy, but that would interfere with her dexterity.
Yes. It would slow her down.
Right. So we can't do chainmail. So it would have to be something like hide or leather.
Armor of gleaming, like half plate. You can do half plate.
Oh, okay.
That's medium armor. Yeah, half plate's down there.
Yeah, we can do that. All right.
That should work.
So she's got half plate. All right. Weaponry. Choose your weapons.
Rapier.
Okay.
It's a good dexterity weapon.
I give everybody 2 daggers.
Cool.
Gotta have one in both boots.
Maybe a ranged option, like a hand crossbow or something.
Okay.
Or actually, she's proficient in longbows because she's a wood elf.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, we could do a longbow if you want to, or we could do a hand or a light crossbow. All right, longbow.
Hand is probably either a hand or a longbow would probably be good, because neither of them would probably interfere too much with her backflips.
I gave her a longbow.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Anything else she needs?
Swords of some kind. She got a rapier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And 2 daggers. She's in half plate. She has a longbow. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Actually,
you ready?
She can do a shield too.
Okay.
Sorry. She probably ought to do a shield.
A shield? All right. So
Paladins are proficient in shields. So
not just the TV show.
Cool.
All right, so 52 pounds. Let's put you in the shield. And let's see our Simone. This is going to take a second. So at this time, I guess we could talk about a couple of other things. Nope.
There it is.
There it is. All right, so I'm going to move our faces.
45 feet. Are you kidding me? Like, she can move 45 feet in a round.
Yep. All right. She's got, all right, acrobatics, athletics, performance, persuasion. She has disadvantage on stealth now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a
It might be the shield.
It's the armor. It's half plate.
Okay, so then let's change that armor then.
Yeah, maybe a breastplate. I forgot that half plate imposes disadvantage on stealth, if that's a concern.
It is a concern.
Okay.
It is a concern.
Somebody can cast silence on the clanky paladin. Goodness
They
knows.
could, but we don't want her to be clanky.
Okay.
All right, so for her, we could do a breastplate. Let's see what that happens to do. Okay, ooh, a little bit lighter, like 22 pounds lighter. 24 pounds, actually.
She can still backflip up to the big bad evil guy and
Yep. All right, and stealth. All right, we're back. No disadvantage on that one. Performance, persuasion, athletics, acrobatics. Initiative is a +3. So she will probably not be the first one in, but she's at armor class of 18. Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty good.
She's got some nice spells too.
Guiding bolts, which also
Yeah.
helps her team out. It can, I think, reveal invisible enemies and give the next attack advantage.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Not too bad.
Yeah. This is a neat character.
She is.
45 feet. Like, I
Yeah.
think this was intended to be like something else that players can do with physical stuff, but also some of the trappings of a paladin. Like, she's a paladin still, right? Like, she's martial, she can heal, she's got spell casting. There ain't no fighter like a fighter, of course, but paladins are an interesting. I find them interesting, an interesting halfway point between a purely physical fighter and a divine caster like a cleric. They're like a halfway step between.
Give me a second. I'm about to lose power.
Okay. So. Plug.
So her bonus actions that I'm looking at, where she can add hit points.
Yeah. Inspiring Smite.
Yep.
Channel Divinity. It's a cool feature.
The distance of your long and high jumps increases by 10 feet. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So if she decided to do a high jump, does that mean she adds the 10 feet to her 45?
Yep.
Holy crap.
Yeah. She can move. She can move, right?
Yes.
Like, she is a champion mover. She is a gold medal winning.
Her reactions. While wielding a shield and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage. Nice. Well, her limited use ones. Channel Divinity, Divine Sense.
And she's got 50 points of healing.
Cool. Nice. Wow.
Paladins are neat.
They are neat. Okay. She can do some damage. Cause oh wow, with her longbow, it can go 150 to 600 feet.
After 600 feet, it imposes disadvantage, I think.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, she's got some skills here.
She can lay it down.
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can. Well, very cool. I like this character. I like her very, very much. All right.
There is Simone Biles, everybody.
Yeah, that is our Simone Biles. Well, thank you all for joining us. I think that for now, Nate and I are going to go to the pre-recorded. So
Probably.
This will be first available on our Patreon account. Our Patreon members get to see the videos a week ahead of everyone else. And then it'll be available for the entire public a week after that. And next week, we don't quite know who we're going to do next week, but
figure it out.
Yes. And I think we're going to stick with this format of working on the character together. Life has just gotten a little bit more complicated now that we are re-entering society a little bit more as a whole. Also, we don't know what's going to happen because winter brings its own set of problems.
Sure does.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. So once again, thank you all for joining us. It has been a pleasure. My name is Ragan.
I'm Nate.
All right. Say good night, Nate.
Good night, Nate.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of So You Want to Lead a Party. Please click the subscribe button, the like button, and don't forget to ring the bell. And if you enjoyed this week's episode, check out last week's video or the YouTube suggested videos.